Kyrie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Kyrie Jesu Domine.
Good morning. One of the real challenges in prayer, of course, is praying and interceding for others and feeling that God did not listen because you prayed for X, and whatever X is, you didn't get it. And usually X is healing or deliverance or something good, and you don't get X. And in the response to not getting X, we are given to all kinds of wrong conclusions. That God didn't listen, God didn't love us, God lied to us, God isn't real. All of those are very possible responses by us, and yet they're all various degrees of error and distortion. And those are the type of statements that I think when we make them, they're like a calling card chumming for fallen angels. Not that we're getting attacked by demonic possession or things like that, but they don't want us to believe. Absolutely not. They do not want us to trust God. They have zero trust in God. All they have for God is anger and fear, hatred and resentment. That is the type of creatures they've become. They have fallen from an angelic state to a demonic state. And when we entertain that in our relationship with God, it's like setting up the signal for them to come search us out. And again, nothing major, minor oppression, maybe to exacerbate feelings and distortions of truth. Because the Lord wants us to trust Him in all things. And the good He is interested in ultimately is our eternal good, not our temporal good. And we have a hard time accepting that. We all, if you're believers, profess in an eternal world, yet we think God's first test ought to be all the good in this temporal world. And this temporal world is just an opportunity to grow in faith, hope, and love. This is our incubator, as it were. I like to call it boot camp, but it's also our incubator. We are really barely living a spiritual life in this world in preparation for the next. We're trying to. And, it's a twofold life of avoiding sin, stage 1, and then trusting God, stage 2. I mean, really trusting God in all things, that God is going to act on our behalf. Today's gospel is a gospel of confidence in God. And yet again, it's not a method for training us how to get what we want from God, but how to trust God. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks the door will be open. Which one of you would hand his son a stone when he asks for a loaf of bread, or a snake when he asks for a fish? If you then, who are wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father do things to those who ask Him? Do to others whatever you would have them do to you. That is the law and the prophets. So there's today's gospel. And again, it's not a recipe for getting our will. It is a super highway for accepting God's will in our life. And that's what we want to really remember. Because really good people of faith get tested when trials abound in their life or the life of their loved ones. And it can make the best of us and the strongest of us very despondent. And which is understandable. God's patient with that. God doesn't fault us at times for being tested. Not at all. But what He hopes is that at the end of the test, we trust Him completely. And so we ask, and again, always when we ask and seek and knock, it's always with the desire for deeper intimacy with God. Our first desire should be God and His will for us. Our first desire should be God and the blessings that He's already given us and the blessings He has in store for us. Those are the things that you and I are striving for as disciples of Jesus Christ. So one of the things to do is always pray for people, who are being tested. Because trusting God is where it's all at. That is our greatest act of love for Him. Is saying, Jesus, I trust in you. Peace.